Come on.
I know, but what is capable
She's so
of?
cute.
Thank you.
How old?
Thank you. She's only 7 months. Trust me.
You eating good, huh?
That's my chubby bunny.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. What's your name? Carissa.
Hey everybody, this is Maria. I'm with Carissa in front of Dunbar School, and she's with Families for Excellent Schools. And I'm just going to ask Carissa some questions on camera and Facebook this for all my friends to see. So Carissa, tell me why are charter schools better than Bridgeport Public Schools?
Well, what we want to do as a whole is we want to improve the education system from the basics. We feel like, as residents in Bridgeport, that we want to be, successful. We want our kids to be successful, pay the highest taxes in the country, and we have the worst schools in Bridgeport. So,
we have the worst schools in Bridgeport?
Yes, we have the worst schools in the country in Bridgeport. The worst performing schools.
In the country? We have the worst performing schools in the country.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's terrible. Okay.
So, the organization that I work for is a nonprofit organization that is interested in improving the Bridgeport education system as a whole. However, as a simple suggestion right now, we are trying to open up charter schools in Bridgeport so that we can meet the parents' needs as of right now. But like I said, as a whole, we would like to reform the whole education system.
Okay, can I ask you, say you work for a nonprofit. Are you being paid to do this, or are you volunteering your time?
Well, right now I'm being paid.
You're being paid. Okay, that's fine. All right, and let me ask you this. Do the charter schools that are currently in Bridgeport, do they perform better than all the traditional public schools and magnet schools in Bridgeport?
Honestly, statistic-wise, I couldn't really tell you that because I honestly, personally don't know the statistics. I can tell you from my own experiences and the parents that I've dealt with, they tend to have a better experience. They tend to feel more comfortable with their children's academics, and they feel like their kids can compete, with other kids from around the country when they get to a level of college and things of that nature. But I mean,
so you have children in charter schools?
I have children right now in magnet schools.
So you have children in magnet schools in Bridgeport. So you yourself have never had a child in a charter school?
No, only because of the fact that I wasn't really aware of the charter schools. My kids are much older. My son is 21 and my daughter's 16, and my baby daughter was 13.
So your 16-year-old is in what school?
Central Magnet.
Central Magnet, and your 13-year-old is
in High Horizons.
And are they having a horrible experience? No, they're having a good experience.
They're actually having a good experience, better than I thought they were going to have. But I mean, it's not so much about the experience socially as it is for me preparing them academically to be successful.
Okay, so but you're not taking your kids out and putting them in a charter school.
I actually would like to put her in charter school when she gets ready to go to school.
But the ones that are the ones who are in Central, and I apologize.
It's okay. High Horizons.
You're not ready to pull them out. You're not willing to pull them out and put them into a charter school.
Not right now. Only because of the fact that both of them are almost finished at the schools that they're at, and right now, they are being challenged academically because there are some. I guess an AP program at Central Magnet.
Yes, there is. Mm-hmm.
So my daughter is, involved with the AP program this year, and my other daughter is graduating from High Horizons this year, and she's had a very good grade point average. She's been successful. So at this point right now, I don't feel like it's dire. But for this child coming up, now knowing the information that I know, I would definitely put her in a charter school.
Okay, let me ask you this question. I've read a couple things in the papers and stuff. When charter schools open up in Bridgeport, do they take money away from the Bridgeport public schools?
No.
They don't. So we don't have, the Bridgeport public schools doesn't have to pay for their bus transportation or their special ed services, anything like that.
There are things that they do split the budget on. However,
they split?
I'm privy to those details as someone that you'd have to speak to higher up in the chain. But from my understanding, they're basically supporting themselves. They're basically...
The charter schools fund themselves?
Yes, they're taking care of themselves, which is why they are more flexible and, in some cases, more structured than public schools.
Okay. Tammy, do you have any questions for this?
No.
Okay, can I just share with some things with you?
Yes.
Do you know that our magnet schools in Bridgeport are the best performing schools in the city of Bridgeport, and there isn't a single charter school that performs better than they do? Do you know that our schools are not the worst performing schools in the country? And do you know that every time a charter school opens up in Bridgeport, it takes millions away from the Bridgeport public schools? Because under state law, we must pay for all their busing, transportation costs, and all their special education costs. And that not the year the charter school opens, but the following year, the money follows the child. So if Bridgeport's getting $11,000 to teach a child, and the child goes to a charter school this year, the following year, they'll take $11,000 from Dunbar School and give it to the charter school. Plus, we still have to pay 100% of their bus transportation and special ed. So over the next 5 years, just with the 5 charter schools that are currently here, do you know that the Bridgeport Public Schools is going to lose over $30 million to charter schools? Were you aware of any of that?
No, I was not aware of that.
Okay. So what I want you to know is that Families for Excellence Schools, its board of directors has millionaires and who run this organization. And the only reason they want to promote charter schools is because it makes them wealthy. It's not about children. It's not about minority children and improving their education. It's because they make millions, okay? Including this organization is funded by billionaires, Wall Street executives. Just about every single person on the board of directors is not a minority. So do you really think they care about our minority children, or do they care about their pockets?
From my experience, which I can only speak from, that hasn't been my experience. That is not what we are out here trying to promote.
But they're paying you to do this, right?
Yes.
You're not doing it because they're paying you to do it.
Yes, they are.
If somebody doesn't reside in Bridgeport, and can they sign your petition?
We're looking for Bridgeport residents.
But if I said to you, my niece goes to Dunbar School, but I live in Stratford, but I want to use my sister's address, I would have been able to sign that petition, right?
To my knowledge, that's not.
But I would have been able to.
Initiative.
You wouldn't have known, right?
I mean, I assume that the information is correct. We have someone who's in our office who follows up with the information to make sure that they are Bridgeport residents.
How can they do that, though?
We have them.
Right, but how can you verify that Maria Pereira lives in Bridgeport?
What y'all putting on the hot seat?
That's not my job. My job is to basically meet the community, get people involved, get their information, let them know that we have information available, and if they want to get involved, then they're more than welcome to.
Okay, but I'm just sharing with you
I
you're
understand.
out here telling people this organization only cares about making wealthy Wall Street executives wealthier. And you're working for them. You're being paid by them to promote something that's. You just told me that we have the worst schools in the country, which is completely.
I was led to believe,
but
not necessarily from this, organization. That is detail that I've learned being a parent in Bridgeport, being involved with the parent committees in various schools, and also being a staff member at Bassett High School. And
you're an employee at Bassett?
I was. I'm no longer.
Okay.
But yes, I was.
So what I'm saying to you, isn't it important that when you speak to people about signing your petition, that you give them really accurate information? You just told me we have the worst schools in the country. That is not in any way true. You told me that the Bridgeport Public Schools doesn't lose any money. When charter schools open, they're kind of self-funded.
Well, you must be privy to details that I
know, but I'm not circulating a petition.
No, I understand. I completely understand that. But I think, however, if you are not agreeing with the message that we're trying to convey, I think you should take that up with someone.
Come here, brother.
A little bit higher.
Are you taking up with somebody who makes more money than you?
Somebody who makes more decisions than I do. I don't make decisions. I do what I'm told, and as far as I'm concerned, I was told that they want to improve the quality of Bridgeport schools as a whole. Our objective is not to promote charter schools.
Well, this organization's only mission, have you ever been to their website?
Yes.
So you know that their only mission is to promote charter schools.
Like I said, they
don't fight for public schools. They don't fight for magna schools. They fight for charter schools.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I understand that you have your opinion. But
they give our kids a better education, man.
Sure, but they don't. I'm just explaining to her that every magna school in Bridgeport kills the charter schools in Bridgeport. Kills them. Not even close. Not even close. And that every time a charter school opens in Bridgeport, millions are taken away from schools like Dunbar, Madison, Blackham, Bassett, because we have to pay for every dollar of their bus costs and their special ed costs.
I just asked
and
one of my
that's
cousins,
millions.
he go to Bassett. I just asked him, So easy question. He's a senior. I asked him, what's the capital of Connecticut? He said Bridgeport. Now, how can you be in the 12th grade in a public school and don't even know your capital of your own state?
And you don't think that ever happens in charter schools? Then why are our magnet
No.
schools performing better than charter schools in Bridgeport?
But why the charter schools perform better than the public schools in Bridgeport?
Magnet schools are Bridgeport public schools.
So why are they performing better?
No, our magnet schools beat every single charter school in Bridgeport. Every single one. Every single one. There's not one charter school that performs better than a single magnet school. And the reason you have to compare those two, you could live right here, and if this is a magnet school, you don't necessarily get in. You have to gain through a lottery, okay? And magnet schools are lottery schools, and charters are lottery. So you have to compare those two. Do you know that charter schools significantly underserve the poorest children in Bridgeport?
I'm sorry. I was under the impression that when you wanted to speak to me that you were for charter schools. I could have heard you say that.
Right,
you
because
love
I
charter
knew that
schools.
this. No, I don't. But
see, that's why that's what it is, y'all. You falsify things like you just told us you was coming here.
You totally
you
came over
supported
here
it.
to have a conversation.
but
So
if you're
why
out
put it
here
on the house?
under
But
false
why?
pretenses.
But see, that's and you probably said, what, you a teacher here?
No, I'm not a teacher. I've
So
never
why-
been
but why
paid.
you-
Because I'm a graduate of the Bridgeport Public Schools.
But why didn't
and my
you
child-
come? Why didn't you come out face value at what you were saying?
Because I wanted to make
You
sure
could have still
that
spoke to it the same
But
way.
what difference does it make?
It makes a lot of difference.
Why? Is she going to say
It makes a
something
lot of
different?
difference.
She's going to say
Then
something
if she know
different?
you was against it, she could prepare herself better for a
It's
She
question.
should just be saying the same thing whether I'm against it or for it.
It's not about preparing for the conversation. I just feel like you should have been honest in why you wanted to.
But
speak
you're not
to
being
me.
honest. You just told me we have the worst schools in the country.
That's
Okay,
what I believe.
I'm gonna reiterate this information to you once again. What I said to you is this is information that I was told.
Right, but-
this is my position. This is my job. I do what I am asked to do.
So even if it's not true, because you're asked to do
No,
it, you're going to
no,
do
no,
it?
no. As far as I'm concerned, they are giving me the correct information. I do not go and second guess my boss. Do you second guess your boss? when your
Sure.
gives
My
you-
boss is wrong. Absolutely. I would tell my boss, I'm
Well,
sorry.
you're
You just
very
quoted this
strong-
policy.
You're a very strong.
Absolutely.
person, and
It doesn't matter how
that's
much
good
somebody
for-
pays me. I'm not going to tell lies to other people. I'm going to share
So
the
you
truth.
right saying we telling lies?
Yes, she just told me on
She just
camera.
said to me that
You
she
just
doesn't
told
tell
lies.
I'm
But
not
you just
circulating-
told us a
I'm not
lie.
having people sign
But
anything
you just
under
told
a
us a
false
lie.
lie.
But you want to
Okay.
record me making statements that you feel is not.
It's not that I feel they are. They're completely
that
false.
you feel that
They're
is-
not. They're
that are
not.
false. But your whole for coming over here was not.
If I told you I was completely against Families for Excellent Schools and
I
charter
would tell
schools,
you very much for your
Right,
opinion.
you wouldn't have been recorded.
the
but
point
but now
is-
we've caught you telling people false information about charter schools. So that's why we had to do it. And I'm not going to take any more of your time. I just wanted to Facebook this, that this organization that's funded by Wall Street millionaires and billionaires is out here paying people to come into our community, which I'm born and raised here, to say lies to parents in front of a public school about charter schools. And they are lies. Yeah, they are lies. Okay? But listen, I appreciate your time. You have a beautiful daughter. Congratulations. And I'm sure you're going to do what's best for your children.
Where?
All right? Thank you for your time.